Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this brand new series of RimWorld. This is the very first time I'm actually playing the game, so I've not done the tutorial or anything like that. I'm going to be going in completely blind. Well, not quite completely. I have been watching a lot of Let's Plays of this game over the past year or two, and it looks amazing, quite frankly, and I am really excited about this. RimWorld, for those of you who do not know, is essentially a base building survival game. So, or as they call it, a colony simulator. So basically the idea is you crash land or otherwise start in a very humble setting with a small number of colonists, and you have to build a shelter of some kind to survive. And the game will basically throw different crises and pirates and famines and toxic fallouts and all kinds of nasties at you to try and kill you off, essentially. However, over time, you can try and expand your colony. You can get some new colonists coming in. You can fight the pirates and then capture them and convince them to join you rather than try and kill you in the future. And slowly but surely grow if you can. But obviously the game is trying to stop you from doing that, so it may not actually work. Now, I have been suggested that I play this on a slightly harder setting rather than I would normally just go straight in on normal. But the whole point of this game is it's meant to be difficult. It is meant to throw stuff at you. Things are meant to go wrong. This game is definitely at its best when things go wrong. So, with that in mind, there are three scenarios that we can choose from. Crash landed, that is kind of the base scenario. You start with a number of things, including this stuff. Silver is money. Survival meals, so you will need to provide food for your colonists. So this kind of gets you started. Medicine in case they get wounded. Components, I think it's for machinery. A couple of weapons, some steel, wood, that's building materials. Random pet, usually a dog. And there is some other stuff scattered around the world. Rich explorer, you start with a bunch of money but only one person. Oh, and gun turret research. No research here? No research. No research here, but with 5 people instead of 3. But you start with much more basic equipment. And I'm going to be going with the Lost Tribe, however, I am going to hit the scenario editor. Is that a thing? Edit mode. Aha! So, we are going to create our own scenario. We are going to be the Lost Vikings. We were just, peacefully exploring the Atlantic, finding new worlds, and then literally finding a new world. And that's where we are starting. Now, we've chosen the Lost Tribes people because I wanted a fairly low-tech start. We will be fighting against pirates and stuff with assault rifles and stuff, but we want to start with a more Viking-y type beginning. So 5 lost... No, we're not Tribes people. 5 lost Vikings. Attempt to rebuild. Our tribe? No. Expedition was destroyed in the great blood machine sent by the gods. 5 of you managed to escape. Now it's time to build a new home. There we go. Player faction tribe. I think that is acceptable. Yeah, tribes are basically more primitive, I guess. I don't actually know what the difference between tribes and colonies are. So that should be interesting. We start arriving. Yeah, we're not on drop pods. Forced health condition. Malnutrition. Oh, I see, because we're starving. Yeah, that makes sense. Silver, yeah, pemmican. Pemmican's kind of it's a Native American food, but it's basically meat that's been treated so it lasts a really long time. Herbal medicine, yeah, we're fairly basic. Club. No, we're not going to start with a club. We're going to start with the almighty... Oh. Apparently there aren't axes. Maybe we do start with clubs. I was going to say we could start with the almighty Viking axes, but apparently that's not a thing. Really? How about swords? I know swords are. Sword. Damn it, where are the swords? I'm not blind. SW. No. Okay, apparently there are no swords. Right, so we're going to start with a wooden club, a wooden spear, and a steel knife. Short bow. Piler? Yeah, right, fine. Pilers are basically javelins. Random pet. 3 random pets. Okay, fine. Start near woods. Yeah, okay. Gods were very angry. The blood machines came at night. They swept through your village, cutting and burning your people with their blades and devil fire. Only a few of you escaped now after a harrowing journey on foot with no close friends to turn to. You must build a new home in the wilderness like your ancestors did. No, just a new home in the wilderness. Right, so we are the Lost Vikings. I think this is a pretty decent start. I'm just going to go through that list again just to see if there is anything particularly Viking-y that we need to begin with. Like bear skins. Oh yeah, we need to start with bear skin. Like we can just add stuff, I think. Right? Add part? Aha! Oh no, these... Oh no, start with... Yeah, bear skin. One of them is a berserker. We start with just one bear skin, not 165. Anything else? Let's see what else we can start with. Do. Not seeing anything in particular here. Just going through the list very, very quickly. I can't believe there are no swords and axes. That's outrageous. Gladius, that's a sword. That's a Roman sword, though. I want a proper sword. Polish, no. Jacket, no. A kidney, just, you know. Ah, longsword, there we go. We're starting with a steel longsword. Now we're going to start with 2 steel longswords, and we're going to get rid of the wooden club. Alright. There we go. I feel better about that now. And what else? I don't think you can get like medieval armor. Like, I know it's got armor vest over there, but that is like a modern military armor vest, I believe. Personal shield. Yeah, again, that's like an actual proper riot shield. No, that's like a energy shield, I think, actually, in this instance. So this game is obviously, you are crash landing on a planet ordinarily, so this is set in the future. So our having Viking weapons could be a very, very short game. But we are actually slightly more advanced than the regular tribal people. We are rather stronger, although we are going to be in kind of pathetic gear. I don't see anything which is like old school armor, except the bear skin. I guess that kind of makes sense. I'm just kind of afraid that it's going to put us in tribal wear. That's not necessarily wrong. The other one I saw was a heater, but actually that's not a heater shield, that is literally a heater. That one. So I was going to give myself a heater, but I don't think that would make sense. Right, so I think this makes sense for what we start. Whoa. Apparently we're starting with a bunch of squirrel skin. That's wrong. Okay, I think this is right. Okay, so we are the Lost Vikings. I'm going to save this because this is actually kind of a cool setup. I like this one. I might tweak it in the future. Okay, and then the other thing I was talking about is that you do start with a AI, which is basically trying to kill you. And there are 3 different types. So you have Cassandra Classic. Cassandra creates story events and steady increasing curve of challenge and tension. You have Phoebe Chillax. Phoebe gives lots of time between disasters to relax and build your colony, but beware, if she's set at a high challenge scale, she'll hit as hard as anyone. And then Randy Random. Randy doesn't follow the rules. He'll generate random events, and he doesn't care if they make a story of triumph or utter hopelessness. It's all drama to him. We're going to go with Cassandra Classic, but we are going to play on Challenge. Yeah, I'm not quite ready for Extreme, I don't think. We're going to go with Challenge. Challenging game. This level requires strategy, tactics, and luck to survive the way RimWorld is meant to be played. Alright. And we are going to be on the Leif Erikson Seed. So if anyone else wants to play this one, that's what we're going to play as. Right, so you can see here that we are presented with a map of the world. This is the Leif Erikson map. And you can basically click around on these little tiles, very much like Dwarf Fortress, and pick a spot to begin. So This is like really, really cold. This is Arctic, frigid type thing. This is, does it actually say? Biome, boreal forest, tundra. Aha. Ice sheet. Wow, that would be kind of tough. Temperate forest. Desert. Large hills. Tropical rainforest. Extreme desert. Arid shrubland. Does it change between them? No. Right, so we're going to be, I think, this is a new continent. We've just arrived. We'll be over here because we'll say that we came from that direction rather than this direction. Just because it kind of looks cooler. And Vikings tend to enjoy little peninsulas like this. So this is going to be a temperate forest. It's going to be flat. That means there's not going to be many mountains, so we don't get much mining. Is this all going to be flat? Because actually we kind of want something mineable. Not necessarily mountains, they're just the hills. I guess we're on the shore. Yeah, it makes more sense if we are on the shore. It just means that, oh, we can zoom in. Interesting. We can zoom in, but we can't move around. Okay, what's that? Is that a volcano? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. No, this is still a temperate forest. Oh, it's a faction base. Pirates. What's that? Eastern coast. Biome, terrain, flat. Sandstone, granite, and limestone. You know what? I kind of like that spot. No, I don't. We're going to go... Oh, we could be on an island. No. I don't think it actually makes a difference where you are except for the starting kind of position. So we're going to go here. We'll just kind of imagine if we succeed, we'll expand into the rest of this peninsula. But right now, we're kind of cutting it off. No, we're going to be at the top of the peninsula. Temperature in the winter, -9. Temperature in the summer, 22 degrees. Average of 7 degrees. That's fairly reasonable. Rainfall, quite a lot. Eastern coast, limestone and granite. Growing period from spring to fall. I think that's good. What's advanced give us? We're just going to leave that. All right, we're going there. Okay, so these are the 5 people that we start with. We could just hit start and then we get what we get. We can randomize them. So, for example, this is currently a mad scientist war chief who is abrasive, which means that other people don't like him. He's a teetotaler, so he doesn't like alcohol and drugs. And he is neurotic, which means he works more quickly, but he's also more likely to have a breakdown. Don't think that's quite right. Tribe, child, cave tender, careful shooter, neurotic. You know what? That's not too bad. We have shooting skill. Okay, so every colonist does have different skills, which basically determines how good they are at doing stuff. If there are 2 flames like this, that means they are very, very passionate about doing it. So they, as you can see, their passion burning, learning times 150%. So they get better at that skill. So we have a passionate shooter, passionate cooking, interested in medicine and crafting. That's not too bad, and you are only 32. And we'll rename later. You know what? You look pretty decent, actually. We'll keep you. Congratulations. 20-year-old diplomat's child. And what were you? Tribe child. So you get more shooting, more melee, more growing, more and less research. Yeah, you suck at research. More medicine, more cooking, more crafting. Okay, cool. A hacker. Yeah, I don't think hackers would really have existed. A 63-year-old herder. Good at shooting, good at melee, good at medicine, good at growing. You're a psychopath, and you're an abrasive psychopath. Oh, you are a perfect Viking. Congratulations, welcome. Okay, we have a tribe child loner. Oh, incapable of. So incapable of, there are different jobs in the game. So this person, because they are something, it means that they cannot do social activities. So they cannot, for example, convince a prisoner to join you. Or they cannot trade either. That's not necessarily a bad thing. So what have we got so far? We have got a shooter, a cook. So you'd be a very good hunter, probably. We have you, who are a medicine, so you'd be our doctor. And pretty decent melee as well, and growing, so you'd be the farmer. Okay. The loner. Incapable of that. Industrious, which just means you work faster, which is fantastic. And you're cold tolerant. See, you're really good when it's cold. You have a bite scar on your left arm. So why are you incapable of social? Oh, because you're a loner. Wardening disabled, that would be it. But you're really good at growing, shooting, melee, because you know what, that's not too bad. Yeah, we'll accept that. A warrior! Scavenger, mining and research, can't do plant cutting, hauling, or cleaning. Now, if they can't do hauling, that is a bad thing, so that's the dumb labour stuff. Basically, you want lots of haulers, because lots and lots of stuff gets produced and you need to move it around. Chemical interest, you're more likely to go drug. This is a berserker. Slowpoke, you move more slow. You know what? I'm fine with this. You're pretty decent melee. You're very research orientated. You have a lot of passion for different skills. You know what? You're not too bad. We'll keep you. Komodo the warrior. And then finally, the lawkeeper. Aha! You are passionate about melee. You're not that great. You have really poor skills considering you're 49. Scratch scar, that's fine. Chemical interest involved? No, we'll go someone else. Psychically sensitive, that's a horrible one if you get drones coming through. Psychically dull, that one's better. Oh, you're very Viking. You're only 34 with 11 melee and 2 shooting. You're a great warrior as well, in fact. Abandoned child, so you get more melee, less social, more crafting, more melee and more social. Alright, so you're a shaman. How's your medicine? You're not really a medicine man. You're just kind of the scary priesty guy who's always praying to Thor and Odin and shouting at stuff. I like that. Okay, so we have got our... You are malnourished. Okay, so we have 2 people who are malnourished, which is only minor, so I think that basically means we just need to feed you up. We have 1 33-year-old female, 34 male, 45 male, 63 female, and a 32 male. That's fine. Just make sure we don't have anyone that's like 80, because they'll just keel over in this. You know, I'm happy with this. This is okay. I don't want to like try and get the dream team here. You know, like I've been saying, you want stuff to kind of go wrong from time to time. So that's fine. So let me just double check. We have a grower, don't we? That's you. Do we have anyone that's passionate growing? We have 2 people who are pretty decent growers. We have the cook, that's you. We want a cook, otherwise they'll just die of food poisoning. And yes, that is a thing. This is a very, very in-depth game, by the way. There is a lot of stuff going on, so let's just start. So, what is this map going to be like? And how do you play this game? Like, it's going to be fairly slow going at first, and I do apologise for that. Like I said, I'm no expert. I know what's happening in the game, but I don't actually know how to play the game. So it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. And we already wrote that. No, pause. Right, space pause, spaces pause. Alright, so this is the map that we've started with. You can see the ocean here on the right. We have actually got a couple of mineable areas. That's these dark zones. The areas with walls, you usually want to be kind of careful about going in them because you never know what's actually inside, and it can be very, 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 very bad things like crypts and stuff like that. So generally, you kind of want to keep careful about those. Another thing you want to consider is that you want to think about where you're going to set up. So, for example, I'm kind of seeing a natural fortification here. You basically stick a wall across here and a wall across here, and you are now hemmed in. I don't think that people can go through deep water, but I think they can go through shallow. So maybe we want the wall kind of going like that. I think. And then that also means that we can kind of dig into these areas, and then we'll have easy mineable access for building shelters. Now this is a temperate map, so there should be a fair number of animals around, so we will be hunting. And to prove that fact, we have got some deer over here. Lovely. So we can hunt them. That would be nice. We also have various resources scattered around. And you can tell by the different sides of the wall here. So this is compacted steel, so that's basically iron that you can mine out and get metal straight away. I don't know if you need to melt it down or anything. I think you might need to. Compacted machinery is components, which will be useful because we do not have access to those. And we are basically going to advance really, really quickly because we've gone from Viking to sci-fi. But we do have the tribal start, so we will start very, very far back in the beginning. Okay, so these are the characters up here. If you would like a character named after you, then please do let me know in the comment section below. Likewise, if you have a particular preference as to which character you would like named after you, then please do say that as well in the comments. It will be on a more or less first come first serve basis, although I do of course reserve the right to tweak it or choose who I actually want to name people after. Okay, so what do we actually start with? We started with some pemmican, which is our food source, bearskin, which is the armor, and some herbal medicine. We got an alpaca, a husky, and an Labrador. Okay, so 2 dogs and an alpaca. Female alpaca, so I think we can get milk from her. I think. I don't know. Okay, so how do we want to do this? As far as I know, you just kind of mark things that you want done. You don't kind of select a character and then tell them to do things. The only thing you can do here is draft, which is basically saying, I'm taking direct control of you. And that's generally what you do when you are fighting. However, we are not currently under attack, so I'm not expecting to need to do that just yet. Draw directly combat, select draft, yeah, okay. So basically, we need to start eyeing up precisely what we want to do and where. We've already got a bit of a wall coming out there, so I think we'll probably just finish that wall off, wall this bit off, and then we'll be pretty secure in here. We'll maybe have a door coming down the bottom there, just because there seems to be more stuff down here. Eventually we'll need to work out some proper like defenses with turrets and things like that, but right now that is not too big an issue. The other thing that we do need to do is go into here, which is the work schedule, and this is basically where we say this is the stuff that you need to do. So right now, Gubia is our tender. Now, of course, these names will be subject to change, so bear that in mind. So I'm very purposely not trying to learn those names right now, so I don't start referring to Gubia instead of whoever gets the dubious honor of being called, or whoever that character ends up being. Okay, so if you hover over each column, you can see the skill, see average of relevant skills, 8 out of 20, so this person is a good doctor. 10 out of 20 is also a good doctor, so the others do not have doctoring enabled because we have the 2 decent doctors. In fact, this person only has a 1 out of 20. Although they do all have an interest in medicine, so that does mean that they would improve their skills more quickly. The other thing that you want to do is you basically want to have everyone enabled on flick, and on flicking is basically flicking switches. So if you flick a switch, you basically want someone to immediately go over there and do it. Manual priority, this is what we needed to do. So, whoops. We want these to all be 1. So this is basically we're saying your top priority, and it goes from left to right, is to firefight. If there are any fires, I want you all firefighting. If you are injured, you are then a patient. If you're a doctor, you are then a doctor. So we're going to make you the main doctor and you our secondary doctor. And if you are injured, go and rest. If you have any switches to flick, flick them. Okay, so wardening. This is talking to prisoners if you have captured someone. So we have, oh dear, we have absolutely terrible social skills. So we're going to have a really hard time convincing people to join us. In fact, yeah, you are literally the only one who's able to do that. So we're going to make that a level 2 thing. So level 1 is basically you need to go and do this, like pronto. So in fact, I'm going to make that a 3. 1 is just absolute priority, just do it. 2 is you need to do this as a matter of importance. 3 is going to be kind of, if no one else is doing it, you can do this. And 4 is you have nothing better to do this. Handling. So this is animal handling. We do have the alpaca and the 2 dogs that need to be looked after. And you can basically choose who they are attached to. We have an excellent animal handler, that will be you, and then you can do that third. So basically Komodo will have one of the dogs chasing after him, which is actually a pretty good thing because he'll be one of our main fighters. Obviously he's the warrior. It's the warrior and the shaman who I think are our fighters. And I think it was the tender who was going to be our hunter, so you'll be using the bow, probably. Shooting is one of the skills, I think. No, hunting is. Okay. Right, cooking. We had a really good cook, I seem to remember. We have someone who's very, very passionate about cooking, but no, you are going to be our main cook. So I'm going to leave that on a 3. We're not going to assign anyone else to that. In fact, no, I'm going to make that a 2, because cooking is actually really important. And hunting will be a 3. If you're not cooking, you're hunting. 7.5, 9.5. Ooh, you're even better. Owl, the loner. Alright, you can also be a hunter. You too, I don't want you hunting. Even if you do have a passion for it. They're all pretty good hunters, actually. I guess that's the benefit of having tribesmen here. Construction. We probably want more or less everyone constructing. Alright, we're not going to have you constructing because your skill sucks. We're going to make these guys 4s in construction, you a 2. So Owl, your main thing is going to be constructing and then hunting. What are your skills again? Industrious and cold tolerant. You're actually going to be a really good character, you are. Working. I mean, I'm going to have to rejig this. This is just kind of what I've learned from doing Let's Plays, but those people tend to be rather more... what's the word? They usually prioritize everything on like number 1, so I think that's not the right way to do it. You want to use the full range, 1, 2, 3, 4. You have all 4 numbers, you may as well use them instead of 1 and 4, which is what a lot of people tend to do. So 4 is very low down. Who's our next best constructor? The problem is we don't really have one. We'll make you a 3. Yeah, we'll do that. Repairing. Who has good repair skill? The loner. And you can be a 4. Okay. Growing. We did have a number of farmers. Oh yeah, we have 2 really good farmers actually. So we're going to take you out of it. You can grow and you can grow. That's fine. Mining. Oh, we may not actually have any miners. 4, 7. Alright, you're the miner. Congratulations. Yeah, we'll make that a 2. If you're not doing animal handling, you're mining. Okay. Plant cutting. So plant cutting is like if you have trees and stuff that need cutting down, that's what they do. And I think plant cutting is also harvesting. So growing is the chance of using a seed correctly and actually getting something to grow. And then plant cutting is the chance of actually, harvesting a crop from it. So you don't want to screw that up. And in fact, our plant cutting is terrible. Does anyone have a passion for it? No. Who's not very busy? You're not. Let's make you a plant cutter as well. And the gatherer, obviously. We'll make you a 2. So you're going to be wardening and then plant cutting. Alright, craftsman, smithing. 5, 3, 6. I think you can also be a 3. I'll make you a 2. So your top priority is smithing. Okay, that's fine. Tailor, 5, 3, 6. You can have that as a 4 if you have nothing better to do. Art, I'm really not too concerned about. It's going to be a long time before we need artwork. This is basically a way of boosting their morale. So we'll make that a 4. Crafting. Now this is something that other people seem to really underrate. And I think it's going to be really, really useful. Especially where our circumstances, where we start with a lot of really, really rubbish stuff. So our plan is to craft stuff and then sell it. Then we can use that money to actually buy the materials and the items that we need. So crafting is actually going to be a fairly high priority. We'll make you a 2, make you a 3, and you a 3. Hauling. Who's a good hauler here? None of you. Let's make you all a 2 in hauling. If there is something to carry, carry it. Cleaning. 3, 3, 3, 3. Right, if you're not doing anything else, clean. And again, that's important. Like, if you have blood splatters everywhere, people get really, really angry and pissed off very, very quickly. And then research. Yeah, I don't really expect any of you to be particularly good. Oh, we actually have a really good researcher. You know what? You can research. So, our tender is our secondary doctor. You will be cooking and hauling most of the time. Otherwise, you will be hunting, smithing, crafting, or tailoring and cleaning. That's fine. The gatherer, you will be doctoring as your main priority. Then wardening, then plant cutting, then hauling, then growing, then crafting, then constructing, art, or cleaning. Owl, you will be constructing or hauling, so you're going to be our kind of main busybody, which is actually good because you're industrious, so that means you do stuff really quickly, which is nice. Does industrious affect hauling? Gets things done much faster than the average person. Global work speed plus 35%. I don't know if work speed affects hauling, because it's not movement speed, it's work speed. Movement speed is a different thing, like our warrior is a slowpoke, so he's slower. If you know that one, let me know in the comments. And please don't give me too many spoilers, I should have mentioned that earlier. I do want to kind of learn this, but if you have any particularly important pointers, then do let me know. Obviously, I'm still learning, so tell me. What was I saying? Industrious, yeah, so you are our main hauler. No, I don't want you to be the hauler. I want you to be the main constructor person, then you can do everything else. So you'll then be hunting, repairing, growing, or hauling. We're going to make hauling your 4th priority. I might make you a crafter, although you have no passion for it and no particular skill. That's the problem, you're industrious, but you have kind of poor skills. Right, so the warrior will be handling animals, animal handling, and then mining, and then researching. A very cunning warrior, I would say he is. And then otherwise you are constructing or repairing, because you can't do the dumb labour stuff, so no hauling, no cleaning. He doesn't like getting his hands dirty. He's clearly a very particular warrior. You know, he's part of the social elite. He must be a Huskal or something. And then finally, this shaman, who's our berserker guy. You will be smithing, crafting, and hauling as a matter of priority, and then animal handling, constructing, plant cutting, tailoring. Okay, cool. That looks good. So that is going to be the end of this episode. I'm sorry that has been a little bit slow. I just wanted to take it slow and basically make sure that everything was explained as I was going forward. And, you know, I wanted to take time to kind of explore the options a little bit myself as well. I think this is going to be a really fun series. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to how this plays out. It is a challenging game, and we are playing on a fairly high difficulty setting, although in a pretty easy area, hopefully. Like temperate, just stuff grows, you got loads of trees, though forest fires are a problem, and stuff to hunt. Like if you're playing in the extreme cold, for example, then getting food is a really, really big problem, and you need to research stuff as a matter of course. Yeah, you need a research bench to do research. There is quite a lot of technology here, as you can see, and most of these will unlock other things, and as you can see, they are also pretty advanced things, like ship antimatter reactor. Of course Vikings would know about that. Right, yeah. But it will start rather more low-tech before that, like stoneworking and things like that. Stoneworking is what you need to turn these chunks of rock into blocks, and then blocks you can turn into other things through crafting. That's why I wanted to have the crafting up, and then you can use the blocks to build proper walls rather than wooden walls, though we probably will use wooden walls. Anyway, this episode is getting too long, so I'm going to have to cut it there. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you will enjoy this series and that you will join me in all of them. If you have any tips or advice for me, then please do let me know in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to hearing you, and I will catch you next time. Goodbye.